What's up, baddies, and welcome back to the Blitz Babes. It's Aeron.
And I'm Sarah, and the divisional round of the 2026 NFL playoffs was an absolute gauntlet, featuring two overtime thrillers and some of the most chaotic weather conditions in recent postseason history. While the favorites largely advanced, the cost of victory was high for several teams leading into the conference championships.
Hell yeah. Now, let's get into our all-time favorite segment, our Slays and Nays.
Yeah. I have to start my Slays and Naves off this week with the Bills and the players who were wearing red cleats because it looked really good.
I do love that, and I'll go ahead and say your next slay because this was definitely your idea. But the Seahawks green gloves. But I'm saying this to say I love the tertiary colored accessories, like when the teams use the third color that is just like a pop.
Yes. I love the slime green gloves.
Yeah. I think officially it's Volt green.
Love.
You know, Nike and their names.
What
Honolulu blue. It's the Lions color. The only thing that I love during this time of year, like with the winter and stuff, is when they bring out the jerseys with the built-in hand warmers and they don't use the tube hand warmer. Like it looks really cool, like a hoodie.
Right. Yeah, those are really cool.
They're so subtle, but I really like it.
Yeah, the hoodie pouch, the pockets.
Yeah, like a kangaroo.
Now, what was on your nay list this week?
Well, we have to shout out a couple people for our nays. We'll start with the refs. Some of those calls, I will agree they are controversy, but I mean, I'm not a ref, so I don't see it. But you know, some of them are pretty crazy. Some of the calls were crazy, and some of the non-calls were crazy.
Yeah.
I will say that there was definitely some PIs that should have been called, but hey, whatever. And then we have to shout out, or whatever the opposite of shout out is. I don't know. Take to the public and throw stones at them or something. Public shame.
Tomatoes.
Yeah. CJ Stroud. Horrible.
I don't even have anything to say. Actually, I have so many things to say that it's better that I just don't say anything at all.
Horrible.
I'm shaking my head. Everybody shake your head. That's how I feel.
Meh.
Shame on you. Shame.
That was bad. But
yeah, we will be getting into it.
And as always, if you're enjoying today's show, let us know.
Hit the like and subscribe button right now and comment, who do you think is going to win this week? Who do you think is going all the way?
And who do you think is going to get fired?
Real.
Which, yeah, brings us to our next segment. Take it away.
Now for the juicy stuff, gather around and get your mugs ready because this is tea time. So this week, the biggest bombshell was the firing of Sean McDermott, just 48 hours after the loss to Denver. While McDermott leaves as the second winningest coach in Bills history, owner Terry Pegula made it clear that perennial contender wasn't enough anymore. The tea here is the dramatic shift in tone during his final press conference. Normally the most composed man in the room, McDermott had a public meltdown, shouting, "I'm standing up for Buffalo, damn it," while railing against the officiating. Insiders suggest the front office saw this lack of composure as a sign that the pressures of the Super Bowl or bust window had finally broken him. The firing has caused a massive rift in the locker room. Jordan Phillips went scorched earth on Instagram, calling the move stupid and sickening, while Deion Dawkins posted a heartbreaking tribute with a broken heart emoji. Several players reportedly found out via social media, with one anonymous starter texting reporters a simple WTF. There's a growing narrative that the players feel McDermott was the scapegoat for Josh Allen's 4 turnovers, creating a tense atmosphere as GM Brandon Beane, who was promoted to president of football operations, begins the search for a fresh voice. In the wake of McDermott's firing in Buffalo, the most scandalous rumor is that the Bills are looking at Davis Webb, the current Broncos quarterback coach, as a head coaching candidate. The tea on this: Webb is a former teammate and close friend of Josh Allen, and some insiders are suggesting that if the Bills hire Webb, it's a move purely to keep Allen happy after he was seen arguing with McDermott on the sidelines. The idea of hiring a 30-year-old with only 3 years of coaching experience just because he's Josh's bestie has Bills Mafia divided between genius and desperation.
Yeesh.
Yeah, so
That
I
tea
guess
is
that
piping
is
hot.
something to keep an eye on.
Damn.
But
You think Josh
yes.
Allen is diva?
I don't know. Much
He
to
hides
think
it
about.
well. If he is
Yeah, if
diva,
he
he
hides.
hides it really well.
Yeah, T. Well, now that we've got the drama out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this week's injury report. Womp womp.
And as a disclaimer, this is not a comprehensive list of every single injury that happened, and we are only going to be covering the teams that have moved on. Otherwise, it'd be too much. Bo Nix, the biggest story of the weekend, or one of the biggest, I should say, suffered a fractured right ankle, allegedly on the second to last play of overtime during a designed run. And despite finishing the game to witness the winning field goal, he has been ruled out for the remainder of this postseason and will undergo surgery. I say allegedly because also allegedly he broke it after the fact, like after he got into the locker room celebrating or something. Alleged, but I don't know. I'll leave that up to the people who have time. I'm employed. I'm too employed for that. I'm sorry.
Right.
But let us know what you guys think on that, because that is interesting. But Pat Bryant, Broncos wide receiver, left the game early against the Bills with a concussion, and he does remain on protocol. Ramondre Stevenson suffered an eye injury in the first half, but he was able to return and finish the game. Zach Charbonnet suffered a knee injury in the second quarter. While initial reports were helpful, further imaging confirmed a significant injury that may sideline him. And Matt Stafford, he played the entire game with a taped finger on his throwing hand that he got last week, but he did not appear to suffer any setbacks during the cold weather.
Okay. Yeah, that Bo Nix one is crazy.
Yeah.
That's like the worst case scenario.
No, literally. I really don't know what to believe. Because when I was doing research on this, right, like people were like zooming in on after he walked off the field, right, and there's like, look, there's like, he's not in pain, there's no like anything. So I don't know.
I guess we'll see. Best of luck, best wishes.
Yeah.
But we can get into the playoff games.
First up, we have the Bills versus Broncos. They did go 30 to 33 in overtime. This highly contested game saw Buffalo take an early 7-3 lead, but the 3-second quarter fumbles by Josh Allen and James Cook, including a strip sack by Bonito that led to a Denver field goal, gave the Broncos a 13-7 halftime lead. Denver extended the lead to 23-10 in the third quarter before the Bills scored 17 unanswered points to lead 27-23 late in the fourth. Bo Nix then mounted a clutch 73-yard drive, capped by a 26-yard touchdown to Marvin Mims Jr. Crazy, didn't know he had it in him, to put Denver up 30-27. Allen drove the Bills into field goal range, but the game went into overtime. Buffalo's season ended due to a controversial overtime interception ruling on a pass to Brandon Cooks. Officials ruled that Cooks, despite appearing to secure the ball, never, quote, completed the process, end quote, of the catch when Broncos' Jaquan McMillan wrestled it away. Bo Nix then moved the ball before two pass interference calls set up Will Lutz for 23-yard game-winning field goal. And Allen finished with 283 yards and 3 touchdowns, but was marred by 4 total turnovers, overshadowing James Cook's 117 rushing yards.
This game really could have gone either way. Honestly, it was so close.
Right?
Like, I feel like the Bills had it in the bag,
Mm-hmm.
but then just started shitting on themselves, pretty much. And just let a bunch of, like, mistakes ruin the momentum that they had at the beginning.
Yeah, and I think that what the performance we saw from the Broncos honestly was not extraordinary, but they were able to capitalize on some calls and non-calls
Yeah.
throughout the game that I think gave them the confidence to keep going.
Yeah, I agree. And for
'Cause-
what?
Right. At what cost? At what cost? But like for sure there was a Riley Moss pass interference in the end zone that should have been called.
Yeah, I remember that. That was
So-
rough. But it is what it is. I feel like they're more lenient on shit in the playoffs.
You think so?
I think so. Like if it's not like super egregious, they'll let shit slide more than they usually do. I feel like. I guess because people are
Maybe.
playing harder. Or, I don't know, but I feel like that's kind of a thing.
How you feel? Yeah. Maybe also the like Broncos are playing at home. You know, I feel like usually they do go for the home team sometimes.
Yeah, lots of tinfoil hats on.
Yeah, a lot of people were
We'll
saying
never know.
it was part of the script. So
The script.
yeah, because I guess in the beginning of playoffs they put out that picture of all the quarterbacks going towards the Lombardi, and if you look closely, they're exactly in line of the order like that they got eliminated. And
Much
the
to think
four
about.
yeah, and the 4 guys who are going into the conference round are the 4 dudes at the top, and then the one before that is Bo Nix, but I guess it's a lie because Bo Nix is dead. So
Right.
like they didn't put Jarrett Stidham in there.
They didn't account for him busting his ass in the locker room.
Right. I think that would be very funny if that is the truth,
I hope it is because that's so
but
funny.
also very embarrassing.
Yeah. Let's talk about very embarrassing real quick. We have the Texans versus the Patriots, 16-28. So, in a game dominated by Foxborough weather, the Patriots used a stifling defense and Drake May's poise to ground the high-flying Texans. The story of the game was CJ motherfucker Stroud's uncharacteristic struggles. He threw 4 interceptions, including a 26-yard pick six to Marcus Jones that swung the momentum permanently in New England's favor. While May did fumble 4 times in the sleet and rain and lost 2, he balanced the miscues with 3 touchdown passes, including a spectacular one-handed diving grab by Kayshon Boutte to ice the game in the 4th quarter. The Texans outgained the Patriots in total yardage, but 5 total turnovers and an 0-7 franchise record in the divisional round proved too much to overcome as New England advanced to their first AFC title game in 7 years.
This is such a shoulda coulda woulda moment. Like, you know, if the Chargers would have won, then the Texans would have been going against the Bills at home.
I know. And I
But-
mean, this game is like a game that we could have won because Drake May had 4 fumbles.
Yeah.
Like, that should have been a game that we won, except for instead of capitalizing on our defense, who was having a great game, we had CJ Stroud, who embarrassed the entire city of Houston, Texas, by playing some of the worst quarterback performance in a playoff I've ever seen. I might even have to put it above Sam Darnold. I said it. I might even have to go as far as to put this playoff performance above Sam Darnold's worst choking quarterback of this fucking century.
I mean, okay, I don't want to say this into the tone of like, I told you so, because there's no way I would have been able to predict this. I'm not an analyst. But if we look at the last week's performance,
I know.
I mean,
I
he
know.
didn't really give us much confidence going into this game. Like, I know the city was
I
hyped,
know.
and I got a lot of hate for being like, oh, y'all are confident in that win. And people were like, shut the fuck up. A win is a win. But that shit is not going to get you to the Super Bowl.
I think they should have took him out. Maybe that's controversial. But I think they should have took him out last game. And then he's doing this shit again in this game. Like,
No,
I know that's their quarterback,
literally.
and I know they want to ride for their guy, but like, you gotta get him the fuck out of here, respectfully.
No, literally. As soon as he dropped the first one, bring in Davis Mills.
Bring him in.
I know
Release
he's ready.
the neck. I cannot believe that they kept him in the entire game after they have a lot of shit to think about.
And did you see
a lot of shit to think about?
Did you see CJ's post game interview?
No.
He was like crying.
Me too, girl.
He was crying and he was like, I just feel like I let a lot of people down.
Me and did.
Yeah.
That was diabolical. That was
I
actually
agree.
diabolical.
I agree. Yeah.
Fucking believable. Anyways.
Anyways, wow, we're just so good with the transitions today. Speaking of diabolical, let's talk about the 49ers versus Seahawks game. 6 field goals versus 41 was the total score.
At least we didn't get blown out like this. I tried to look at the glass half full. At least we didn't lose like the 49ers. At least it was somewhat, not a blowout.
That was honestly embarrassing.
This was bad.
How embarrassing, you may ask? Well, Seattle delivered one of the most dominant performances in playoff history, tying their franchise record for margin of victory in the postseason. The onslaught, or slaughter, we should say, began on the very first play when Rashid Shaheed returned the opening kickoff 95 yards for a touchdown.
Crazy.
In the first play. In the first 5 seconds.
First 1 fucking millisecond, literally. Crazy.
A blow which San Francisco never recovered from. Kenneth Walker III was the engine of the offense, rushing for 116 yards and had 3 touchdowns, joining Sean Alexander as the only Seahawk to achieve that feat in a playoff game. The 49ers, quote, unstoppable, end quote, offense was held to just 2 field goals, with Brock Purdy under constant duress from a pass rush led by DeMarcus Lawrence. By halftime, the lead was 24-6, and it was not looking good. The Seahawks defense added an exclamation point in the second half with an Ernest Jones interception, holding Kyle Shanahan's squad to a measly 128 net passing yards. And it's bad when they bench the starting quarterbacks. It was so embarrassing. I was watching the game and I'm like, holy shit, they scored again.
Yeah, that opening return was actually insane. I'm like, I just got here.
Like they literally just
got here. What is going on?
They just destroyed any ounce of confidence they had.
It's demoralizing.
Oh yes, that's a good word.
Demoralizing, humiliating,
shameful.
Right. Yeah,
All
that
of
was bad. I know they are missing a bunch of people, but Bessie, everyone's missing a bunch of people.
No, literally, point. It's like it's the 22nd week of football.
I know,
or whatever many weeks it's been. Like it's been 3.5 months. Everybody's like,
I know,
not healthy.
It's just like you can't even. There's no shoulda, coulda, woulda, because there wasn't even a chance. That's bad. Hey, but at least Sam Darnold is not seeing ghosts this year. We'll see, I guess. He still has a chance.
At least there's no chance for the 49ers to play at home in the Super Bowl. That would have been so annoying.
Yeah, I never would have heard the end of it.
Like, okay, new comment of the day. Name the worst fan base and why is it the 49ers? Bro, we went to a bar to watch the Broncos Bills game and they started creeping in, at half. About like around halftime, and tell me why these bitches started putting up their own decorations in the bar. They brought duct tape and started putting up their own decorations. I was like, bro, do they work here? Like, is it like what's going on? No, they did not work there.
That is so crazy. I wish so badly that you would have been able to stay to watch them watch this.
I said the same thing to Alphonse. I was like, damn, we should have stayed. But I was like, because it's like, like they're like, they have like the big ass chains and the hats and all the 49ers gear, like head to toe. I'm like, bruh, you guys are so annoying.
Damn.
No, that's what they get.
Damn.
Like you could wear a jersey, you could wear a t-shirt. You have like, this motherfucker had like a whole bathrobe, like a whole like all over print 49ers print bathrobe. I'm like, what are we doing?
Sir, we're at the club. Sir, this is a Wendy's drive-thru.
This is a Wendy's. Like, what are you doing? But I'm so happy we don't have to see that.
Yeah. And maybe next year. Best of luck.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
Next up we have the second overtime game. It was the Rams versus the Bears, 20-17. This was a defensive slugfest in the freezing Chicago elements that remained a 10-10 deadlock for nearly the entire second half. The Rams offense, usually a juggernaut, went scoreless for 7 straight possessions between the second and fourth quarters as Sean McVay struggled to find a balance between the pass and run. The stalemate finally broke with 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game when Kyren Williams capped a massive 91-yard drive with a 5-yard touchdown run to give LA a 17-10 lead. Chicago seemed defeated after a turnover on downs at the Rams' 2-yard line with 3 minutes left, but a shanked 33-yard punt by the Rams gave Caleb Williams one last chance at midfield. What followed was a heave to heaven. On 4th and 4, Williams retreated nearly 25 yards under a heavy blitz and fired a 50-yard no-look pass across his body to Cole Kmet in the back of the end zone to force overtime. In the extra period, the Bears actually got the ball back after a Rams 3-and-out, but a fatal miscommunication between Williams and DJ Moore led to the Cam Crow interception. Matthew Stafford, who hadn't thrown a pass in overtime until that point, finally took over, hitting Devontae Adams for 12 yards to set up Harrison Bevis, the thicker, for the game winner. Despite the loss, Williams finished the postseason with 618 passing yards, the second most in a single playoff run in Bears history. That pass at the end of the game
was crazy.
Crazy.
He had a good run.
Cinema. That was like, everybody was speechless. They panned the camera to the coaches, and they're just still. Mm-hmm. No expression, just dumbfounded, bamboozled even. That was really crazy. I was rooting for the Rams, but like, man, that was pure cinema.
I mean, honestly, the Bears had a really good run. You can't deny that. So
yeah, they did.
I don't think that I think them along with the Panthers should not be disappointed by their like performance at all in the postseason. Like, I think that they both like did amazing. I know it's not what they wanted. I know everybody wants a Lombardi and rings, but I don't like, especially with Ben Johnson's first year. Yeah. And to see like just what they're capable of, I think it'll be very exciting to watch them next year.
I think so too. I think they definitely had a good run, and they have a lot to be proud of, and also some things to work on.
For sure.
And I'm excited to see them next year. I don't know. Next year, I can't even fucking predict next week. I don't even know how I'm going to predict next season.
Well, maybe we'll see some more humility.
Yeah.
Some more humble, be more humble at Caleb Williams, please.
And maybe
come out of the closet
in Houston.
Oh.
We'll support you.
We will support you. You can be on our show every week.
Yeah, period.
You have fans. Well, kind of. I did also want to let everybody know that next week is the battle between the Sean's versus Mike's. So just be ready.
Elaborate on that, will you?
Yeah. So, it's is Sean Payton versus Mike Vrabel, and Sean McVay versus Mike McDonald. So,
isn't that so crazy?
Yeah.
It's the Sean's versus the Mikes.
The Sean's versus the Mikes. Like, when I texted that to you, I was like, wait, did you know this?
Whoever loses has to change their name. There can only be one. This town's only big enough for one of us.
I'm Dirty Dan. No, I'm Dirty Dan.
We do also have an announcement. We do have some upcoming projects that we've been working on. We have a episode on a very famous hockey show that has been going viral. That's all I will say. Coming soon. And then we also have a new series that we are planning on starting. It's a Football 101 Baddies Intro to Football guide that we are starting. So, keep an eye out on that here in the upcoming, I don't know, week or so. 5 to 7 business days.
Period. Yes, I'm so excited. We're gonna put a lot of effort into it, so we hope you all enjoy. But that is our take on the divisional round of the playoffs.
Hell yeah. Another crazy week of football. Thank you for watching, everybody. Remember, our episodes are now streaming on all major podcast platforms. So if you prefer to listen on the go, just search for the Blitz Babes podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your fix.
But if you're here on YouTube, make sure you subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you never miss our takes. And we will catch you soon for more drama, more craziness, and more NFL.
We'll see you
Bye.
next week. Bye.